Hello again, Gooners, back by public demand. Well, not that many of the public have actually contacted me to demand me, but here I am, back again, in full Technicolor. Well, actually wearing black, a Rio t-shirt, Rio Miyaichi. Well, perhaps you want to know why I'm wearing it. It's just random selection, actually. I did get told the other day that, or asked the question, do I feel embarrassed about wearing a Fabregas t-shirt a few moons ago? Not that many moons, actually. How many moons have passed since Fabregas signed for Chelsea? Not many is the answer to that question. The question that I never wanted to be posed. But did I feel embarrassed wearing a Fabregas top given that he's now joined the Blues? No, not at all. The club, I thought, should have felt embarrassed, but now they've actually made some proper moves on the transfer front, I'm beginning to wonder whether or not they should be embarrassed. I'll tell you what, I'm in a pretty good mood today because, you know why? Because yesterday, money well spent. Mathieu Debuchy joining the club for £12 million. Okay, an undisclosed fee, because it's always undisclosed. For an undisclosed length of time, we like to play it very secret at Arsenal Football Club. Well, Debuchy's a good signing, make no mistake about that. I know he's not been with Newcastle that long, since when? 2013, beginning of. And over the seasons, he's accumulated a lot of yellow and red cards. I'm not talking about Newcastle particularly, just his career. But he's got, he's won a Ligue 1. For those of you that don't speak French, that's their top flight. He's won the Championship, he's won the Cup. What do they call it? I forgot. Le Coupe or something like that. Anyway, that's French for you. And he's won things. So clearly we've got another winner on board. Alexis Sanchez. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't displeased about the signing, but if that was going to be the main signing and only that, then I wasn't pleased enough. That was all. And I was still disappointed about Fabregas not signing for us, and I still am. But so I start signing players like Debuchy, it changes my mind slightly. I had to look at what our rivals have been doing. Not every single one of the Premiership teams, because it's not really worth looking at every single one, is it now? I didn't hear your answer, but I assume you said no, it isn't worth looking at every single Premier League team, because some are not really rivals, are they? Aston Villa, they're only rivals if you were talking about what other team begins with A. Aston Villa, yes, I hear you say. Joe Cole, well, I really like Joe Cole. Somebody said to me, what a joke signing. I said, it's not as funny as Philippe Senderos signing for them. Need I say more? I've been told off many times for saying that Senderos even, is not a good, not a Premier League standard centre-back. Obviously, he's got loads of caps for Switzerland, so he's laughing. He even managed to get a few minutes of the World Cup. Switzerland conceded 5 in that game. I'm not going to say any more than that. He came on as a sub. I think they hadn't conceded a goal at that point. Senderos comes on, they concede 5. Need I say more? They also signed Kieran Richardson. Why am I talking about Aston Villa? They're not even rivals. Right. Teams that might win the title. Let's just forget about the A's and the B's, but don't forget the C's, because that's Chelsea, right? Diego Costa, they've signed him. Sounds like a good signing. Fabregas, I really don't want to say any more on that. Felipe Luis, should I say? I don't know about Diego Costa and Felipe Luis, how well they're going to adapt. Just like I said about Sanchez. So I'm not going to change my mind. I'm just saying players that come from abroad, generally speaking, do not hit the ground running. I mean, they take a while to learn how to say hit the ground running. In fact, some of them never ever learn that phrase. And maybe that's a good thing. Anyway, who else have they signed? Mario Pasalic. Is he going to make a difference? I don't know. But I tell you who will make a difference is Mourinho. He's there. He's had another season to bed himself back in. I thought Chelsea would do really well last season. I don't remember. I think I predicted them to finish second, so I wasn't far off. This time I'm wondering. Just depends. If they do need proven Premiership quality, but they have got that in Fabregas, so I promised I wouldn't mention him, but there again I lied. Liverpool. They've signed a few, haven't they? They've got Lallana, who's obviously going to be a much better player at Liverpool to what he was at Southampton. Ricky Lambert. He's a decent enough player. I don't think he's a world beater, but it gives them options. And of course, they've got Emre Can and Lazar Markovic. Names that roll off the tongue, perhaps not. But they might make a difference in terms of the squad. But but generally, are they going to be a lot stronger than last season? They were a surprise package last season. I don't know. I think they're still going to be pretty tough to beat, and they're going to be up there. Then Manchester City, they've signed Fernando for 12 million, which is what we paid for Debuchy, according to some reports. They've got Sanya. Who needs Sanya when you've got Debuchy, is my question. And they've got Willy Caballero. We had our own Caballero. He wasn't all that. So let's hope the Willy Caballero is about as good as our Caballero wasn't. Right, what about Man U? Are they going to make an impact this season? With Louis van Gaal as manager, they've got more chance, you have to say that. Luke Shaw, £27 million, sounds a lot of money to me. He's a good player, but personally, I wouldn't pay that much for him. Vanja Milinkovic. See, if I'm struggling to read the names, you get a feeling that they can't be that good, surely. Then, have I spelt this right? Ander Herrera. How good is he? I don't know. It's question marks over those. Luke Shaw should do all right, but then bear in mind Luke Shaw's going to have the burden of that transfer fee. It's going to be pulling him down. It's going to be like an albatross around his neck. He may struggle. So I'm not really seeing Man U as potential rivals just yet, even though Louis van Gaal will make a difference. I still think we're up against Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. I'm not sure we're gonna topple one of those three, but maybe one. So I'm looking at probably at a third place again, like I said last season. You know why I'm saying third now? Debuchy. That's the reason. I personally think he's going to do better than Sanya. Perhaps I'm being optimistic about this guy, but I think he's going to be some signing for us. Good value for money as well. I'm really pleased about it. So yeah, that's why I didn't really get affected by Michael Owen's comments. A lot of fans did. Michael Owen said that Arsenal will not finish fourth. So looking at the teams around us, who's going to finish above us? If Man U are not, then we are going to finish fourth. Unless we're talking about Spurs, who haven't signed anyone just yet, although they're about to apparently. We'll wait and see on that. I think Spurs are not necessarily going to be up there. I'm not saying that to disrespect Spurs. People that know me know that I wouldn't do that. I know it sounds like a joke, but actually, no, I wouldn't do that, because I don't really disrespect any other football team. Because just because I like my team doesn't mean I've got to disrespect others. Right, sermon over. It's getting boring. Oh, that's why I'm wearing black and white. It's a bit like a vicar. I'm doing my sermon now. Right, let's move on. Let's talk about deals that may or may not happen. Unfortunately, the latter is often true. May not happen. Javi Manquillo. He is a right back, and Liverpool are about to hijack that move even, according to some reports. I never thought that deal was going to happen after we signed Debuchy. Why would we sign another right back? Makes no sense. We've got Jenkinson still at the moment, although he may be loaned out, according to some reports, which I don't particularly believe. Mario Balotelli. Now, this is semi-interesting. It's interesting to me because I want us to sign him. I know he comes with baggage, but that kind of baggage we can deal with. Well, I don't have to deal with it. Arsene Wenger's got to deal with it. And I think if Arsene puts his mind to it, he can deal with a bad boy like Balotelli, get the best out of him. That's what I'm hoping. And I liked his photo, I've got to say. Not in that way, but he was photographed with his girlfriend in front of an Arsenal logo. And you've got to say, well, in some people's book, that is good news. That is really good news when you're struggling to find some transfer news linking us to a striker. Balotelli gets himself pictured next to an Arsenal logo. Surely that can't be coincidence. Well, I don't think it's coincidence, if you ask me. David Ospina makes him sound like a cricketer, but he's not. Anyway, 3.2 million. Is he going to join us? No, say the papers. Valencia are going to come in and probably hijack him. Let's use that word again. He's going to get hijacked. Let's hope not, because he's a good keeper, from what we've seen. Fiorentina's Juan Cuadrado, who made an impact at the World Cup, could be on the way. I like this phrase. He made a pair of incisive performances, which is interesting. Yes, so we're buying him for that pair of incisive performances, if we do in fact buy him. Although it's not been a lot of extra news on that front. So let's assume no news is bad news in this case. Talking of news, TV news, not television, but Thomas Vermaelen. He's also posed a bit like Mario Balotelli, but he's posed this time with Robin van Persie. And obviously the papers putting 2 and 2 together, making 163, which is not a good addition. But they reckon he's going to sign for Manchester United. I don't know whether he will or he won't. I would say Vermaelen is on the way somewhere. and he's not going to stay at Arsenal. Why would he stay? He's captain, and he's not even wearing the armband, hardly ever. The only time he wears the armband is in private, probably. Anyway, and Iggy Miguel, why can't we promote him? Give him a chance. I think Arsene's already decided he's no good. I told him that about Senderos. He played him about 100 times. What about Stepanovs? He played enough times. I told him he wasn't listening. I said it quite loudly, but obviously not loudly enough for Arsene to hear. Anyway, those two were given their marching orders eventually, but Iggy Miguel is still around. I think he's got a future. Whether it's going to be at Arsenal, we don't know. Same with this guy. Where's his future going to be? I'll let you know as soon as I hear more. So far, not much on that front. So I was talking about Southampton earlier. Morgan Schneiderlin, sorry Southampton fans, Morgan Schneiderlin still being linked with us. Interestingly enough, the figure being mentioned is in euros. Since when, with England trying to get out of the EEC, since when did we start trading in euros? But anyway, regardless of that, the fee being talked about, 19 million euros, but Southampton want 22.5 million euros, which is, well, a bit of a stumbling block, you might say. Dejan Lovren is also wanted by Arsenal. No fee mentioned there, so makes you wonder how much truth there is in that. I suggest not much. A bit like Sami Khedira. Why we're still going on about Sami Khedira when we have absolutely no intention of buying a midfielder? If we're going to turn our nose up at Cesc, why would we get Sami Khedira? Even though I've got to admit I'm a bit more impressed with him than I was. Karim Benzema is staying at Real Madrid. So what? Did we ever think we were going to sign him? Me personally, I don't think I ever said we would. Then what about like Remy? We've pulled out of the race apparently to sign him because of his wage demands. Now he's on the way to Liverpool. Liverpool being a place which was not to the liking of Alexis Sanchez, which is why in fact he signed for us. Brendan Rodgers revealing that, the Liverpool manager. So perhaps like Remy may balk at the opportunity of joining Liverpool, even though they are perhaps prepared to pay the £80,000 a week wage demand that he wants. He wants that kind of money. We were offering about £20,000 a week short of that. Of course, his money will go a lot further in Liverpool. If you go down to buy a newspaper, it costs about the same. If you buy, say, a Mars bar, which footballers don't tend to eat, sorry about the advertising, but if you bought a Mars bar, I think you find it's cheaper in Liverpool. That's my experience in Manchester, which is not quite the same as Liverpool, but it's close, right? Okay, I hope you let me off that. Who else? Well, Paul Pogba, not being linked with us, but being linked with Liverpool. So obviously he hasn't got the Alexis Sanchez syndrome, which is I don't want to move to Liverpool because I don't fancy living there. Arturo Vidal, same going on with him. Liverpool done pretty well on the transfer front. They're a team that I'm a bit worried about come next season. What else am I worried about? Theo Walcott is not going to be fit for the start of the season. I don't know if that's news for you, but he's going to be training by the end of August. So that's sort of good news. Let's hope he's fit sooner rather than later. Demba Ba will not be joining us. I don't think we were talking about that as a possibility. He's now joined Besiktas. Obviously, we were talking about it back when, I'm not sure, last transfer window, was it? Chelsea were never going to sell him to us. And the tumbleweed moment for this podcast, or vlog, should I say, is Abou Diaby is fit. Can I do the tumbleweed sound as I leave? I'm not sure, but I'm going to try. To me, that sounds like tumbleweed, and it's time to say, away!